Thanks, Abby. Lawyers are renowned for being super innovative. That is actually not true, turns out. I am Justin Erlich. I'm a Special Assistant Attorney General at the California Attorney General's office. And I advise the AG on technology and data. And one of the things that I'm sure anyone who's read a newspaper recently, or for the last couple of years, or watched YouTube clips, we're really struggling a lot with the relationships between police and the communities that they are sworn to protect. And so the AG challenged her staff to think about how we could really speak to that moment in a way that would enlighten us. And we all got the sense that one thing we were missing a lot of was data. And that's obviously a word that has been used a lot today. I'm sure someone has run the numbers and they have the exact figures. But our view was what we wanted to do was really provide transparency and some accountability so we could figure out the size and the scope of the problem, understand where we were doing well and we could replicate practices, and where we could look to do better. So we embarked on Open Justice, which is an initiative, an open data initiative around criminal justice data. So the goals are twofold. One is to strengthen trust with communities and law enforcement, simply just by being transparent and showing that we are all looking to open the data and so we can all analyze it. And the second is really to improve public policy, which is, if you can't measure it, you can't improve it. And we really need to start bringing in the best of data science into our policymaking, and that starts with releasing and understanding the criminal justice data that we have. So we are having 4 components of Open Justice. The first is trying to share data stories of what's going on. And I think as a part of the open data movement, everyone is really trying to figure out how we really unlock the power of the data. And part of our goal of transparency and accessibility wasn't simply to release raw data in CSV files or APIs to researchers and software engineers, but also make it understandable to lay folks. And so we're creating a set of data stories to share in simple terms what the data is, and as well as create some data explorations and visualizations for people who want to explore more. And then we also have the open data portal. So we release raw data. And then finally, analysis is only as good as the data you have. So we're really investing and improving our data collection. And we actually just launched today a use of force collection tool that we collaborated on with Bay's Impact. We will now be able to collect all uses of force in the state that result in serious bodily injury or death. And so that will be a huge addition to the open justice data sets. Just to give you a quick rundown on what we hope to achieve in the theory of change and why we're here today, to hope that you will share with others, which is we got to collect the data, then we got to analyze and figure out what it means, and then we want to publish it and share it. But ultimately, all that work doesn't matter at all unless people are engaging with the data, sharing it, using it, and advocating for change. So part of our hope is that you all will let others know and look at the data yourselves. As I mentioned, we have a few data stories already on arrest rates, clearance rates, crimes, deaths in custody, and law enforcement officers killed or assaulted. We've tried and give some statewide views, just as one example of sort of highlighting some of the key takeaways of the data, as well as the data exploration, where we have lots of different cuts, including county maps, charts, tables by agency, with the goal of really just trying to present as much data in an accessible way as possible so people don't have to spend their time trying to find it. They can spend their time trying to understand it. More is coming. So the goal is actually to take a much more expansive view than just law enforcement and community, but also the school to prison pipeline, looking at the juvenile justice system, as well as incarceration rates and recidivism. And I think what I'll end with is this is part of a broader effort of the Attorney General's office to embrace civic technology. We know that in the modern era, civic tech and government need to be fully integrated. And in fact, we're also launching an Office of Performance Improvement and Innovation unit. And we will be recruiting heavily for folks to come join the ranks in the Attorney General's office. So if anyone is interested, please find me, and we'd love to recruit you.